Well, it's me and Sankarshan.
Hello,
How you
Ramon.
doing?
Back in
Oh,
the US after your long European trip?
yeah. I am back in Seattle. Still not in, this beautiful place in the YA. Hopefully I'll get there at some point. But yes, I got back last night and I got over seven, like 7.5 hours of sleep last night. And I thought for certain I would collapse this afternoon. I'd need a good long nap, and I didn't. And it's amazing. So anyway, super cool. How are you doing?
Good, good. I thought there's
Excellent.
going to be more people joining this call. Wasn't expecting this lonely a crowd.
What's funny is we had, frankly, a huge crowd this morning. Were you? I don't. There were enough people. I never. I,
No,
I
I
swear.
I had a conflict in the earlier meeting, which is in my
Yeah,
evening of.
exactly. And I mean that's why we have two meetings. And so, anyway, it was just really well attended. And the funny thing is, Nikki, is she's volunteered to co-chair, at least for a while to get us really started up, and so we don't run into these problems when I'm traveling and I couldn't hold the meeting last week, and so she does a lot less traveling, so she's a lot going to be a lot more uh, stable as far as being able to hold meetings and move stuff forward. And anyway, I, I think she independently was taking screenshots of everyone that was attending because it was a longer list than fit on my screen. It was like, I don't know, it was like 25 to 30 people this morning. It was a good long list.
Wow,
And I thought,
that's a lot more than what we usually get at crossover happy meeting.
I know, well, I mean, I think, Sankshan, we got a pretty hot topic going here. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, certainly the interest I'm seeing. Of course, I'm out there, evangelizing it and trying to raise funding for it full time. So it's moving along. But I, I agree with you. I thought, that there were folks that would, that only this time zone would work for. And of course, I say, of course, I did. John Phillips was on the governance framework call earlier today, so I saw him there. I didn't ask him if he was still going to be able to make it here. And I don't see any of the members of the affinity team that I had a 2-day workshop last week in Berlin with that team. And it wasn't just me. Jeff Turk, who you've probably seen on earlier calls, that's helping coordinate the work on the
Yeah.
Linux kernel. He was there, and Andre Kudra was able to come too. So yeah, it was really a great workshop. And I just
So
briefly
if
go ahead.
let me put this to you. If it is just going to be the two of us, I can catch up with the recording of the earlier meeting and asynchronously ask for clarifications on the Discord. And you don't actually have to have the meeting and stay awake now.
Well, I appreciate that, and I do. Um, the I think that's going to be, you can probably put it at 1.5 or double speed or whatever, because I do think there was no way we were able to capture, even between Nikki and I, all of the nuances of what got discussed. There was basically, besides just announcements and Nikki volunteering to be co-chair, she and Scott presented this I would
The
say,
risks and harms thing, right? That they have been trying to put
yes,
together.
exactly. And there's a snapshot of that diagram in the on the meeting page, but there's also a link to the Miro board, because we evolved it further, and I have a feeling Nikki, after the call, kept working on it, because it's just you always move the stuff around. So it'd be great to look at that, get your feedback on that. You can listen to the dialogue, and then the whole second half of the call was the Harvard team, Brendan and Alberto, going over the VRC proposals coming out of the two sessions at IAW.
Okay.
And it's really good stuff. Plus, discussions are already starting in the
On
in
the
the repo.
GitHub, I checked that this morning of mine.
Yes. And Marcus asked such a good question on one of the topics, which is like, what should be the subject of the of a VRC
Yes.
credential?
That is
Which,
exactly the one that I have open on screen and reading through the FTP document again, just to get a sense of like what exactly is he's trying to accomplish.
yes,
Oh,
and the reason I
okay.
I said, let's take that one to a discussion is because we probably ended up talking about that for more or less, at least a half an hour, if not an hour, in that 2-day workshop, just because there's a bunch of considerations there. So it's a perfect example. I think I took notes about 3 or 4 others that I think I put on the meeting page. What I will actually do right now is I'll just go to the meeting page, clean up the notes, add anything else I can remember from this morning, and just I can ping you when that's when I'm done. But you're going to get it all from listening to the recording. So
Let me do that. Given that there's so rich content and context happening on the meeting pages and the meeting, let me go back
yeah,
and catch up with them. And we don't have to be on this bridge because I don't think anyone else is joining.
yeah. I mean, we've given it 8 minutes here, and and that's it's fine. Oh, good. I do now that I'm back and fairly stable. I probably will take one more trip to San Francisco before the end of the year, and I know I'm going to make one to Victoria to see John Jordan. I usually do that in December anyway, but I think that's going to be it's going to be a Thursday, Friday. So I should be at this call, except important, we do state at the end, next week, we got a conflict with the Trust OP Symposium. So we're not going to hold calls next week. We will have the call the following week, which is the day before US Thanksgiving, but it's the day before US Thanksgiving and it'll be fine.
All
So,
right,
yeah, and it's gonna be great because I think now that we're using GitHub, we're gonna be able to work asynchronously there. And I must say, Sekershan, this is there's just a bunch of energy pouring back into this and into Trust over IP. I had just between you and I, well, I don't. It's fine if it's on the recording, but I did a call when I was still in Stockholm. It was the only time that worked out. Morgan Stanley got in touch with LFDT and wanted to know more about what was happening at Trust over IP. And it wasn't, I think, specific to the first person project. I think it was to all the work we've been doing. And so I had a call with the LFDT team, just briefing them on all that. And we used up the entire hour and they still had a ton of questions. So we're going to schedule another call. And it's just, it's kind of evidence you get is like, okay, finally we're getting some traction.
yes.
So
Okay.
thank you for
Let's
everything you
go
do here.
off this bridge. I'll catch up with all that's been happening. And if there are things I want more details on, I'll ping on Discord.
Absolutely. I love that Discord. And we did add a channel now for the credentials task force, so we can
Thank you for that.
way. You got it. All right. Thank you for
All righty
everything.
then.
And
See you. Bye.
we'll talk to you soon. You bet. Bye-bye.